Ladies and gentlemen, enter the Sugowaza. This is the closest thing to a chainsaw that you can get in the bush. There are several reasons why I went ahead and got one of these. I've been looking at them for a little while. But the reasons why is because my regular folding Silky saw hurts my hand the way it is. I just can't get comfortable. This is very ergonomic. It's almost a pistol grip kind of deal. And I'm thinking it'll be much more comfortable. I find myself trying to get into this position with the Silky Gomboy, excuse me. Anyhow, with the Sugowaza, you've got a much more ergonomic grip. You've obviously got a super long blade, and you've got the curve, and you've got bigger teeth. So you can cut a lot larger chunks of wood faster. Now, another reason why I got this saw is I found myself putting my Silky Gomboy folding saw in my pocket and carrying it around. Now this comes with a nice sheath, like a sword, that I can put on my belt. You can put your Silky Gomboy on your belt too, but it's not comfortable on my belt. This one's very comfortable, and it has loops for leg straps. So I'm gonna give this thing a try. And it's a little awkward to get back in there, but I'm gonna give this thing a try on this big piece right here. And let's see if I like it. I have a feeling this is gonna be my go-to for cutting large amounts of firewood and for cutting logs for buildings and projects and different things. I think this is gonna be the way to go. This piece is a little smaller than the spread of my hand. I'm gonna say about 7 inches or so, 6-7 inches. And let's see how she cuts. Let's start right about here. Oops, some bark coming off there. Hey, this stuff right here, excellent tinder. All right. Oh man. It's a beast. That curve, you can really feel it snagging and cutting in. This is a large piece of wood, and I thought I'd try it on this piece because this is a piece of black locust, and black locust gets hard as a rock after it's been dead and sitting for a while. Ooh, it's a workout. Wow, that is still amazing. I just cut through this piece of wood in probably less than a minute. That is some cool stuff. It definitely passes the test. Let's try it out on something a little more normal sized, like what we're going to be cutting more of. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about, folks. That is awesome. I forget that it's long. You can really pull back on it. Little Shooter joined me, and we're cooking a Thanksgiving feast right here at the cabin.
gravy on.
Oh, that was delicious.
It was. In plates.
Oh man, first big meal in the cabin. I had some bacon and eggs and sausage last night, but that was not much compared to this.
This was very lavish.
So
mashed potatoes and
we had
noodles and dressing,
yeah.
and then the turkey, and then I had green bean casserole and deviled eggs, which Nathan does not like.
I got a cherry pie for here in a little bit. Little bitty rolls. Miniature cherry pie. But I wanted to talk to you all about Thanksgiving and what it's about, or at least the way I was raised. I was raised that it's a time you celebrate and be grateful and thankful for what you have, and you count your blessings. And one of the things that I notice is so many people skip Thanksgiving, and it really says a lot about the society that we live in. I think people, set their Christmas decorations up in November, and now I know a lot of good people that do that, but I personally don't set up any Christmas stuff until after Thanksgiving, because Christmas is a wonderful holiday, and we all love Christmas, but Christmas is full of gratification. It's full of feel-good feelings and everything. And people want to skip Thanksgiving because Thanksgiving is like the hard part. It's like, oh, we got to give thanks. It's kind of like the idea of we like getting presents more than we like giving them out. Now, I know a lot of you are going to say, no, I like giving, but you should get the point I'm trying to make. Anyway, what are you thankful for? I know I'm very thankful for little Shooter here, and I'm thankful that I was able to get my cabin dried in before winter. What are you thankful for, little Shooter?
Well, of course I'm thankful for you.
You have to say that.
I have many things to be thankful for. I'm very blessed. My family, my career, and all my pink things, which Nathan hates.
Everything she owns is pink.
That's right. My little egg container, my cup, my oven mitt.
But I did get you a little pink bushcraft bag for your birthday.
Yeah, see, he added to the problem.
But it wasn't the right shade. You complained about it.
It was more of a raspberry shade.
It was hot pink.
I'll take it.
Anyhow, I've been looking forward to doing this. I definitely want to do this for Christmas. But
we gotta have ham.
Yes, we're gonna have ham. We're gonna have ham for Christmas, and I'm gonna do a little tweaking to the preparation of the meal to make things go a little smoother. We found out you can only fit so many pans on that stove, and you really got to crank the heat to get a bunch of stuff boiling on it. So
it didn't quite cook like we planned.
It didn't quite cook like we planned, but we made her.
Everything got cooked.
First holiday in the cabin. Sitting here enjoying a few puffs off my pipe and just enjoying this warm, cozy cabin. So, yesterday I had no insulation in the walls, no nothing. I just put the paneling up, put some plastic up, called it good, fired the stove, and when I went to bed, it was warm, and I woke up freezing, and I could not get warm. There was a cold front blowing in, the wind was blowing like crazy, and it was literally blowing straight through the cabin. I could have laid out in the middle of that field back there, and I would have been just as warm. So I did something about it today. Today, before we started cooking the meal, well, while I was waiting on the turkey to cook, I went around and I insulated the walls. And then I just put plastic up behind the insulation and to help hold the insulation in. Now, probably next week or so, I'm going to be putting the siding on anyway. So it'll be just fine until then. But I can tell you that it is roasty toasty warm in here. There are absolutely no drafts. It's warm everywhere in the cabin. So last night, the only place that was warm was like right next to the stove. And if I even like rolled to the other side of my bed, it was cold over there. Tonight, that's not at all the case. It's warm everywhere in the cabin. I added a tarp to my door too to make it a little better. And I put a thing out on Facebook asking people if anybody had replaced doors or windows recently. And so I'm hoping I can get a used set of windows and possibly a pre-hung exterior door. That would be really nice. So we'll see what I can find, but that's about it. It's super duper cozy in here. It feels like a cabin now. Last night it didn't feel so much like a cabin. Little Shooter, she left a while ago. She has to get up early and go to work tomorrow. But we both just wanted to say happy Thanksgiving to everybody. From Little Shooter and I. Sleep wasn't really too much better than the first night. It was still kind of a bad night. I have yet to get a good night's sleep in this cabin. What happened was I fell asleep about an hour earlier than usual, at least. And I woke up about 3 hours later, and the stove had died out, and it was freezing. So what I did was I made the mistake of just cramming the stove full of wood. Well, you know what happened. The stove took off, and it was actually 90 degrees in here for a little bit. So I need to get some gasket sealant and seal around the door of the stove so that when I damper it down, it cuts off all the oxygen and kills it out. I had to stay up for an hour and let it burn itself down and get the temperature back down to a reasonable like 80 degrees in here so I could go to sleep again. But I'm learning this stove is kind of more of a pain in the butt than I thought it would be. But it's a beautiful day out there. The stove's completely died out, and I'm just basically running off the solar energy coming in, the greenhouse effect. Well, this marks the end of Thanksgiving weekend at the cabin. I'm going to get packed up and get out of here. But I will be back, hopefully in about a week, to start on the siding. This was my first 2 nights in the cabin, and they were both absolutely miserable. But when you start at the bottom, there's only one direction to go, and that's up. So it can only get better from here. Things weren't really ready yet for actually staying in the cabin, but I made them ready as I could get them. So next time I stay in the cabin, things will be a little further along. And hopefully I'll have a door. I got a few leads on doors and windows already, so that's kind of important. But yeah, it doesn't really feel like a cabin yet. It just feels like some kind of thrown together shack, because I have a tarp and a piece of plastic for the door with a blanket draped over it, and I have plastic on both ends, you know, so. And it's just kind of thrown together, pieces of tin protecting the wall from the stove. It doesn't exactly feel like a cabin yet, but it's getting there. It's getting there. The only direction is up. Hey, thanks for watching. We'll see you next time in the bush.